Welcome back, guys. TD Talks. It's your boy Trigvy or Try. I'm doing a solo. Today, I'm going one of the more compelling ones to start out with. We're going to go over episode by episode whether Duncan is as good as people say he really is, or if he's just an overrated player as a whole. So we're going to start off with episode 1, introductions. Honestly, in my opinion, doesn't really matter. He shows himself off as a bad boy, but otherwise, it really doesn't matter to the whole strategy plotline. Next episode, diving episode. He jumps. He already placed himself above DJ and Courtney on the Bass totem pole. The Bass discuss the vote, where he leads a charge against Courtney over DJ before Ezekiel just pops off and basically fucks himself. I think he probably voted Courtney, but it really doesn't matter. He cements himself as a leader here, trying to lead a charge against Courtney, with a lot of his Bass teammates agreeing up until Ezekiel shoots himself in the foot. Moving on to episode 2, Sleeping Challenge. Bass don't win. Duncan really doesn't do anything strategically, but he does carry his team as far as he can go and lasts the longest in the challenge, cementing himself as a really great person in challenges. Eva basically shoots herself in the foot like Ezekiel did. Doesn't really have to do much. Eva goes pretty easily. Next episode, dodgeball episode. Not much strategy here. However, Duncan makes a huge clutch up moment for the Bass, cementing himself in a huge power position in the team. Boys really respect him, like Jeff, DJ, and Tyler. They're probably never going to vote for him. And the girls can't really touch him at this point, like Courtney, and a lot of people respect him. Episode 4, like Tyler for having one of the worst fears. At this point, Tyler goes relatively easily. And along with that, he completes this game because episode, I believe it's Cody's boot. Cody gets injured. Like, we all know what happens here. Duncan, I think, does a little bad thing here. Fucks around with Courtney. Doesn't make appearances look good. Kind of ruins a little bit of his relationship with Courtney, but not by much because Courtney has the hots for him at this point. He plays up good. No one wants to dress him as a deer. No one can blame him for that, but I mean, that also wasn't really a good look. But he still helps his team win. He doesn't get caught. Moving on to Beth's boot. Again, Duncan helps. This is a good thing. Helps people. He wants to help win challenges. With that being said, his dish gets the lowest score among the Bass group, but again, it doesn't matter. They win the challenge because Owen's a fucking idiot. So Duncan's still in a great position, power position. Jeff and DJ are tight with him. He's got Courtney slowly getting wrapped around his finger. Actually, no, Sadie doesn't go. Harold probably goes here. Harold is in rivalry with him. Now, actually having an enemy isn't always a bad thing because people like go, oh, hey, those two are fighting. They might be good to keep around because they're targeting each other. They're not going to target me. So having an enemy in Harold who's horrible socially, very meh in challenges, and okay strategically, isn't someone have bad against you. He's somewhat of a threat to where people aren't like, oh, he's such a non-factor, we should go after Duncan anyways, but he's not as big of a threat to where he could actually get rid of Duncan. After that, Sadie goes. This isn't a bad move. Honestly, I think Harold going here is a better move for Duncan, but getting rid of Sadie isn't a terrible move to appease Courtney, as he wouldn't have expected Harold to pull what he did in the next episode. He appeases Courtney, brings Courtney closer to him, and in turn brings Bridget closer to him, despite Bridget not really liking him. Next episode, Courtney goes. Right? Yeah, I think Courtney goes here. This is just nothing. Duncan made the right move to get rid of Harold. I mean, nothing he could do. Harold goes after Courtney, get revenge. I guess it's beneficial for him to be Courtney. Courtney is a shield, although I don't think that was his intention. Again, this boot is just so convoluted in the way that no matter what Duncan did, Harold was still going to get rid of him or Courtney, and not much he could do about it. Next boot, Harold goes pretty easy boot. Again, in the past challenges, he's been really strong. This challenge he failed, but, I mean, Lindsay can turn on God mode in challenges sometimes. It's weird. So nothing can do about it. I mean, with that being said, Harold could have won that challenge for them, but Heather happened. So, like, honestly, I don't know what it was, but the skiers were really good. Duncan couldn't really do much about it, and he was saved. Harold voted for him, which, I mean, as expected, but he votes out Harold, makes the merge pretty easily. Going into the merge, Izzy... Oh, I forgot about the Izzy boot. Izzy Boop doesn't really matter. Izzy and Eva return, right? So not much here. Eva hates Bridget. Weird. She should hate all the best, but for whatever reason, Eva hates Bridget. Great for Duncan. Doesn't have a target. Izzy comes back. Not the best for Duncan. Izzy is going to align with likely Heather, with her Gopher teammates, specifically probably Heather and Lindsay, which does happen. Or Owen. At this point, they vote out Eva. Easy vote. Knowing Eva is a competition beast, you have her around, she's going to murder you. Next boot, the Trent boot. This is a boot that was bad for Duncan. The girls going in had the advantage that there was only 5 guys. They need to get rid of a powerful female player. They got rid of Trent. Not the best move. However, because Trent goes, the Guys Alliance forms, which gives Duncan a huge power position because of all the infighting with the girls. So, Trent boot, meh. A turning point in the game, yes. Best move for Duncan? No. Bridget vote off. This was not the best move for Duncan. He should have gone for Lindsay. I think going for Lindsay would be a better move that weakens Heather, brings Heather closer to him, while also not losing Jeff as an ally because you're booting Jeff's girlfriend. Yes, Bridget's great socially, great physically, and has a solid strategic mind. But you can't get rid of Bridget at this point just because Bridget is a threat to you. You have to wait until it narrows down a bit to where you can get rid of Bridget. At this point, I do think Jeff did vote Bridget, which was a great forceful move by Duncan to make him do that. This is a risky move by Duncan. It works out. The issue is, though, he's got enemies now. People are looking at him because everyone knows, hey, Duncan's here. He's mean and he's a threat. We need to get rid of him. And getting rid of Bridget, smart for him, kind of, but I think there's better options. Next round, Lindsay and DJ, I want to talk about these together. Lindsay going is great for Duncan. It forces Heather closer to him. However, and there was no blood on his hands at all. If Heather didn't already look bad, she looks even worse now because of what happened. DJ going was absolutely terrible for him. If he was going to lose an ally, Jeff would have been better. And I think DJ would go with Duncan over Jeff, at least an island. However, so DJ going was horrible for Duncan, but again, nothing to do about the DJ or Lindsay vote-offs. DJ and Lindsay were auto-eliminations, not much he can do. Next vote. Again, he leverages with Heather here to get rid of Jeff, a huge social and physical threat in the game. Yes, Jeff is, why would you get rid of Jeff? He's everyone's friend. At this point, everyone thought, it's going to be a jury vote. Jeff is going to win a jury vote over the rest. Aside from maybe Owen, but everyone thought Owen was an idiot. So just getting rid of Jeff was actually a great move by Duncan. It gets rid of any chance that someone's going to betray him from past vote-offs. At the final 5, this is where Lashana goes. I don't know. Duncan at this point, if people wanted someone eliminated, it would be Heather. But Duncan was I guess probably Duncan on making himself kind of bad enough to where people don't want to see him. Both don't want to see him go, but also don't want to have him on the playa like they did with Lashana. However, at the final 5, I think he was so well positioned that it would be Lashana or Gwen going in a vote. It's probably Gwen going. Would have been great for him to get out. Overall, with that being said, Duncan is a great player. I don't think he's overrated. I think he's the best player in Island. Duncan is probably a 9 out of 10. Was a 9 out of 10 player this season. I think he made only 3 missteps, and even then, those missteps still played out to his favor. With that all being said, I think Duncan's a 9 out of 10 player. I think Duncan easily wins the game if he wins final immunity. I think Duncan won Island and not won Action. I think we'd rate Duncan as a great winner rather than kind of the winner that we have him as because of his shitty performances, because of kind of Duncan's wishy-washiness in Action. That being said, it's Trigfy signing off. Wish you all the best. It was a horrible time. Hope you all having a great day. Peace out.